Hi there, everyone. I want to introduce a very special person that really made a big impact on my life. Without him, his name is David Naster. Who is David Naster? My former mime teacher for 8 weeks, twice a week. And then again, he asked me, you want more advanced class? What? Street mime. Street mime. I said, what's street mime? He said, we go places. Like Renaissance Festival, the plaza, different places. Sure, I will try, but I will explain more later on. So meet David Naster. Thanks for coming.
Oh, sure, of course, thank you.
Before he did mime clown, and then he became a famous stand-up comedian. And later on, he had written book. He knocked my socks off. Where you go? Anyway, so I'm going to ask him a few questions. Tell me, how did you got involved in mime before you became a stand-up comedian? By the way, he does a sign, but you will see closed caption underneath. I will try to sign, but I think better that you read closed caption. Here we go.
Well, I was asked by a friend, I was working selling stereo equipment, and I was asked by somebody, would you like to come and do pantomime, mime, clowning? And I went, me, a mime? But I'm fat. I said, I've never seen any fat mimes, chubby mimes ever. And he said, well, just come try it and clown. Now, I was a theater major. I majored in theater and psychology in college. So I love performing in theater, but I thought, well, I'm selling stereo equipment. I'll just go ahead and see if I liked it. And I went and put some white face on and a clown nose and went perform for people. And they really responded. They really responded. And but I wasn't talking. And there was something going on between us that we were communicating. We were communicating, but I wasn't speaking. They weren't, but there was something going on between us happening. And so I started doing it. I started doing it more. I did it on the weekends. There was a place here in Kansas City called King Henry's Dinner Feast, and people had to wait outside before they started. So for 30 minutes, I had to entertain people as they got off the elevator doing, it would have been pantomime, but actually more clowny, more fun, more interaction, just me with them. That's where I learned street mime, interaction with them. I would do that, and then I was very good. And then I became, they kept asking for me. And then after that, I decided I'm going to quit my stereo job selling stereo equipment.
What year was that?
1970, 76, and in 76,
Wow.
and in 1977, I completely stopped selling stereo equipment and making money, and became a full-time, in 1977, a full-time pantomime clown. That's what I did.
Wow.
And then I got a job in Kansas City at an old restaurant downtown, it's not there anymore, called the Rusty Scupper. And they hired me for 2 hours, Friday night, Saturday night, to entertain.
I remember it. I stopped by and visited him. I had a great time. I came and watched him and learned that the way you do, you watch him and do improvise. I came by one day and he told me to come and watch me perform. I said, I want to do this, but it takes years of practice to be like him.
Well, but you know, JJ, I didn't, excuse me, I didn't practice. I just had a natural ability to do it. So the Rusty Scupper hired me Friday night, Saturday night for 3 years.
Wow.
They paid me $25 an hour.
That 1970s
It's 1977.
That's not bad.
So I made $50 a night, $100 a weekend to entertain people. Now, at the restaurant, people had to wait to eat, sometimes for 30 minutes, 1 hour. So I went all over the restaurant just doing crazy things. I would
You had that North Maker.
I would the kazoo, but I would crawl across the pipes. I would look above people. I would run. I would do anything. So people were watching me the whole time. Never said a word. Never said. Maybe the kazoo a little bit. Maybe. And then I started bringing my drums. I drum.
Oh wow!
So
I love the drum.
So I brought drums.
Drum.
So I brought drums and different drums, and I created little bands here and there. And then during the week, then schools started hiring me to entertain kids doing children's shows. People hired me for birthday parties, all kinds of things. I started going to the Renaissance Festival. So what
Speaking of Renaissance Festival, I will never forget. He brought. I was his student, mime student, brought me to the Renaissance Festival. It was horrible. It rained like 1 or 2 days before. It rained, and all the hay dust got in my nose, and I have my makeup on, and I can't wipe. You're not mime. He said, "What are you doing? Why are you not mime?" I'm trying to sneeze. I can't sneeze. I said, "I have to stop. I can mime. I wish I could continue, but I had to stop, so I got makeup." Wow, but he brought us to the Renaissance Festival.
But I had a desire and an ability, but mainly a desire and a will to want to entertain people. That's where it came from inside. I wanted to entertain. So my mind was always working about, okay, well, I can play this and take that and do this or do anything with it and
He sees that the environment. That's how he taught me about the environment, to look around the environment and improvise.
You have to, is this play?
Play with it.
Play.
Play with different things.
You have to take something and play with it and do different things and let your mind wander. And the beautiful part about mime and clowning, when you're doing it and you're not talking, people now are not listening. Their eyes, they're paying attention. What are you doing? And once you have their attention, then you can really bring them into your world, into your head. But they have to have your attention. They have to be able to see what you're doing. And that's just how I started.
Tell me, how did you find out about Mimewock?
Well, Mimewock was, the man who started it was a man named Steve Harris.
I remember Steve Harris.
Steve Harris. And he had seen me do something before. I can't remember where exactly. I saw Steve do something and he liked me. And he said, "Well, you ought to come try, do this." And I said, "No, pantomimes are tall like you, tall and skinny. Me, I'm short, fat. What, me? You want me?" He goes, "Yeah." They used to call me the chubby mime.
Wow, I haven't heard that.
But I was getting all the work. I was working. I was getting, people are calling me, "Where's David Naster? Want to do that?" Really? And so it just started happening. But I really, I'll wait. So, and then I went to, I got accepted to Marcel Marceau's school in Paris.
You say you got established through Marcel Marceau school
In Paris.
And say in Paris.
In Paris. So
Wow.
I got invited to go.
And
then during this time, I went to South America, did some touring in South America. I did I went over to Scotland, performed at the Edinburgh Festival in Scotland. And I was never afraid to do something. In If I got an idea or something, I just did it. Even today. That's how I wrote the books. I just have an idea. I just follow through with it. So when I was doing the mime, I really wanted to do stand-up comedy. That's
So
something.
how long were you with Mimewock?
Probably 3, 4, maybe 4 years, 4 or 5 years, and then I just drifted off where I didn't want to do. That's not true. I didn't drift away from. I didn't go there much because I was traveling so much. I was working. Remember when I first met you, I was teaching because I had, I wasn't doing a lot of performing out of the city. So I was teaching in the city, so I could do that. Once I started traveling, Steve Harris, who started Mimewock, he said, "Do you want to do classes?" And I said, "I'm not here. I can't. I'm traveling too much." That you know when you're good at something, and you know things are working when people want to hire you. When you have so busy doing that stuff, you're going, they're sorry. And so then I started doing stand-up comedy. And then I went to the Comedy Store in Los Angeles and did a set. And the owner of the Comedy Store, Mitzi Shore, said, "We want you to come and be a regular at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles."
Speaking of Mimewock, why he would teach me the basic mime for 8 weeks. And in street mime, this man, David, has helped me to break my fear. And he said, "JJ, have fun with the people, draw them and play with them with a ball or fishing by the water fountain, and to look at the environment, and to look at the environment, what you do with the tree, think what you do with the tree, take an apple. What you do with an apple, take an apple and put it on top of his head. What you gonna do with an apple? Maybe bow and arrow or take a knife, and then where you go. He's trying to help me to wake up and use your eyes and your imagination. And you, wow. And then I start picking up faster on my own. So thank you, David.
Well, you did it.
This man.
You have to be, when you do any creativity,
Right, very important.
You have
what
to
I
be
teach many different people, creative.
in your brain.
Right,
You have
to
you have to be playful.
right.
You
Playful.
have
Have
to
a
play.
kid. You must have a kid in your heart.
Yes,
You gotta
yes.
have a kid in your heart to be playful. I have another question for you. Who was your very first mime role model? I probably know the answer. Any other mime role model? Who was the first role model?
Well, there's two. In pantomime, watching pantomime, it was Red Skelton, because Red Skelton did pantomime on television. Nobody else did. Well, actually, Red Skelton did, and so did Danny Kaye.
Oh, Danny Kaye.
Danny Kaye
he was good.
He did a lot of physical, and I like the physical and that. And then, of course, when you do mime, everybody looks to Marcel Marceau, because he got famous because of Red Skelton.
Right.
Because of Red Skelton. So I watched that and got ideas what to do. But I decided not to do mime anymore because Marcel Marceau had that was him. He did it. Nobody else could do it like him. And if they were doing mime, they were imitating him.
Right.
There were other pantomime and other mime artists like Claude Kipnis. There was many in Europe. Mime and clowning is an art form in Europe. They love clowning, they love pantomime, they like that in Europe. America, not so much.
Right.
America think of clown, they think of the circus.
Speaking of Red Skelton, I have a big surprise for him. I'm going to knock his socks off. Are you ready?
But I'm not wearing socks.
Damn. Man, I'll knock your toes off.
No, I can't.
Are you ready? Are you ready? This is for you.
What is this?
I took the picture of Red Skelton.
Yes.
And he signed it to me, JJ and family, Red Skelton, it was me with him. And I have the tickets up, and he signed the tickets up. That's a copy of him. I'm going to add the picture and close up in him. This is one of my favorite pictures because Rachel is just so warm. And I just took him the way he inspired many people. I had to ask the stage manager, how do I meet Red Skelton? How? He said, go to the right side backstage and knock on the door, go in. This is for you to keep.
What?
That's for you to keep.
Why? What about you? This is yours.
This is the copy. I have the original.
No, I want original. You keep a copy.
Well, you say JJ, you have to be David. I can take it to David.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And I wrote a note on for you right there. You can read that later.
Okay.
And I have another question.
Yes, because if I read it now, I'll start crying. I know I get very emotional.
So I have another question.
Okay.
David performed on the cruise. For how many years did you perform on the cruise?
32.
32 years?
Mm-hmm.
You performed 32 years. Tell me what pros and cons about performing on the cruise.
Yeah. The pros and cons on the cruises, the pros is you're on a cruise ship. So you're on this beautiful water and on a cruise ship, it's different now because of COVID.
Oh,
Everything
yeah,
changed.
yeah.
But on cruise ships, the beauty of cruise ships is everybody is there because they want to be. You are entertaining people that want to be entertained. That's a whole different dynamic than a street performer. A street performer, you have to get their attention and then do something quick. On a cruise ship, they have it. Now, when I first went on a cruise ship, I did clowning and stand-up comedy. I did both.
Right.
I did both.
Inside the theater or around the theater?
No, theater. No.
No theater.
They don't have street, no. They just, so I did pantomime and clowning that, and then I also did pantomime and clowning in colleges. So really from when I left Mimewock, that would have been probably in 1981, I left Mimewock. From 1981 to 1988, I did colleges, I did theaters, I did private shows, but I incorporated pantomime, clowning, stand-up comedy all together. Much like Red Skelton. I did all of those things at the same time. I had these skills that I could do, and sometimes in colleges, they would put me in a lunchroom. And I had to stand on the lunch table in the lunchroom.
Oh, I found it. We can do that.
To make people laugh for 1 hour. 1 hour. I mean,
Just 1 hour a day?
oh yeah.
Cool.
So cruise ships are good because people want to be entertained there. The cons of cruise ship and the cons of being a solo performer and traveling, it's a very lonely existence.
But you had a new sweetheart and you got a wife.
How many?
Oh, many sweetheart.
No. That's why as an entertainer and traveling entertainer, probably the main reason I could not stay married is because people that are married to an entertainer, they don't understand. They think, oh, I'm performing in a bar. I'm out partying, having fun, drinking. No. I do a show, I'm done. That's my job. Then I go to my room. I don't want to party with the people. My job is to stand up, make people laugh, and go home. I don't sit around and party and do that. And I didn't do that on cruise ships. I'm just not like that. So for a long time, it's a very, very lonely existence, to do that.
I noticed you brought some books. You had written about how many books have you written?
Well, I've written 9 books.
You said you written 9 books.
I written 9 books, and then
I brought the book, and then I will give you the link where you can order them.
Then what I did was, the books are, this is called the You Just Have to Laugh Manual.
And the laugh.
And this is the combination of the first 7 books I put in here. Also,
wow,
I
the
put
combination of 7 different
so
books we put together.
I can show you here. It's a very, and if you want to sign that, but
let me show you that.
So
wow, when did you first write the book?
I started writing the books in 1995, and then
They start him, Sonny, on Facebook. He was talking about it on Facebook.
The books that I have written, I went a whole different direction with my career. I started off mime, clowning, stand-up comedy. And after shows, JJ, people would come up to me and say, "Thank you for making me laugh. I was going through a terrible time in my life. This really helped me kind of forget about it for a while." And I went, "Really?" Then one time in Edgerton, Kansas, I was clowning at a church, and I got a man on stage, a real big guy. I got a stick horse. I made him get on the stick horse, put a kazoo in his mouth, make sounds of a horse. I got on a unicycle, put a kazoo in my mouth, made sounds of a motorcycle. We raced around the church. He went one way, I went the other way.
Oh, cool.
After we were done, the first one across got to pick up a power soaker and spray the other one with water. Well, of course, I let him win so he could get me with water. He's laughing, I'm laughing, everybody's laughing.
Right.
After the show, that man followed me to my car, and he said, "Thank you for getting me to laugh. 3 months ago, I lost my baby boy. He died."
Man,
And he said, "Thank you for reminding me why you just have to laugh. You just have
That's
to
how
laugh."
you just have to laugh. That's how. What about the other book?
Well, no, wait. So
Okay.
what I did with this book is I went through the most difficult things we go through, which is illness, injury, bullying, danger, depression, suicide, death, grief. Every story in this book is a true story.
Wow.
I interviewed all the people, and it's how they got through death. Grief, well, not death, how they got through grief, suicide, when somebody committed, or they stopped their suicide because they laughed or they found something. So this is all true stories.
Wow.
And then each one I break down
Of a book.
of why we laugh in difficult times.
And remember, laugh is the best medicine.
Okay.
And free. You don't have to go to the drugstore and buy. Just laugh is the best medicine, right?
Well, if you have a headache, you may want Tylenol.
How about the other book?
Wait.
Okay.
Now this is important. What helps us through difficult times is not the laughter, it's the humor. It's the way we think. That's what all these people have the ability to think funny. They see a situation, and in their head they see it, and they flip it around, and they put a new light on it, a new angle, and they go, "Oh, I can think of it different." And then they think of it funny, and they laugh, and they feel good. So, and when they think of when they think of what scares them, when they think of what worries them, when that's gone, and they think of what's funny, they're not thinking about what they're scared about. That's the value of this.
Wow.
That's the value of this. I told you in college, I was a psychology and theater major.
You majored in psychology and theater major. Wow, double.
Okay. So, I don't know if you are a religious person.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
I am religious. You have
Okay.
to believe him.
Okay. Of course, you're Christian. I'm Jewish.
Well, I have many Jewish friends.
But best same. So the first word in the Old Testament that God spoke was, "Let there be light." So in the darkness, there was light. Then it occurred to me, humor is the light that gets us through the darkness. And it all comes from God. Okay. I realized that one day. That was after I wrote this book. I wrote this. Wow, let there be light. Humor helps us get through difficult times. I'm thinking, wait, okay, that's great. Understand. But during this time, I understand how humor helps us get through difficult times. But there were three other things that I was thinking about. And this goes right back to street mime. First of all, I'm thinking, I hear people say, I love you. I love you. I love. And I'm thinking, wait. You say you love me, but then you run off with another man. What is love to you? What does love mean? What right is love? And then I'm thinking too, what is the meaning of life? And then I'm thinking, what is our purpose in life? All these things are going on in my head. It hits me.
Wow. He wrote a book about love.
Read. JJ, read the title.
Oh, you just have to love and the meaning of life. Wow.
So what I
The
did,
book.
yes. And what's about that? Let there be light.
Yeah, creative.
Now,
Wow. How
now
long ago did you finish the book? How long did it take to write the book?
that book,
Yes,
2 years.
2 years. And when did the book came out?
April.
Last April?
This April.
Recently, last April. This April. Wow.
Now something very
Congratulations.
Now for something very interesting. Albert Einstein wrote a letter to his daughter. And he said the greatest force he's ever known of in all of his study of science is love. And yet, nobody has ever given him an accurate definition of what love is. Now,
Love is a powerful word.
okay, read that.
You asked me to read.
Here, I'll hold it. You want to sign it.
He said the Nobel Prize winner, the Albert Einstein, the explanation he showed a lifetime for. Wow,
Love,
cool.
love. And I now give Albert Einstein the answer he wanted.
Great. You know, I want to thank for his time to explain about mime, clowning, you know, a little bit of everything. But I want to share my best memories about creative. Like, you know, when I start taking mime class, that you use like an object, like you use the tennis ball. You know, you feel and see and check it out. And we're going to mime together and have fun. What can you do with the ball? Now, here, cats, ready? Free. I remember when I went to his class, I wanted this, and I always do this. You know, I take this, and then, with this. You're not in the picture. I can see you. You got to move over. There you go. It's fun. You got to have fun. You got to have a kid in your heart. Thank you, David.
Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
So long.
And wait, that?
That's right. Then you have I-L-Y.
But wait, but that's
Oh, I really like
very
it.
much, yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. There you go. There you go.
Is it this way?
And the highway. And you can do that. There we go. Thank you very much.
Sure, thank you.
So